Greetings, disciples from the ninth dimension. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today. Hit that like and subscribe button. You already know you're going to like this vibe, right? On this channel, come on now. I mean, is it really that difficult to just tickle the algorithm within the first 15 seconds, right? Just do it. Now's the time. I'm waiting. 4 hours later. Okay, we just time hopped. You just lost 4 hours there, okay? But that's okay, because in hyperspace, it don't mean nothing, okay? Let's get started today. Today, we're talking about an incredible topic, okay? It's all about discipline, which I call blisscipline, okay? A different approach to discipline. Discipline is not about punishing and harming others, in my own opinion. This is my own perspective. You could talk about, spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not in that way of thinking. I understand that corporal punishment is a very big thing in India and so forth. However, I'm not a proponent of it just because it affects a child's emotional and mental well-being. Now, we want to understand something. Discipline is supposed to enhance our well-being. Okay, at least according to me. Right? Why do we have discipline, consistency, repetition in the first place? It's because it breeds your success. It breeds your growth, your evolution. Remember, flow state or transformation is the vehicle to get you to expand and grow. So you're on this channel learning about peak performance shamanism, and I'm here to give you an alternate perspective. Maybe the other coaches, healers, neo-shamans of the web have told you before. So listen up closely, let's take notes, let's tap right in. Now, before we get into this, I want to get to someone's question. They'd asked me about spirit protection. I get questions like this all the time, okay, about random spooky situations that have happened to certain individuals. Okay. Time for another mystery, I guess. Anyways, this person, I'm not going to reveal any names, confidentiality reasons. But this particular person was experiencing a lot of nightmares, night terrors, and they would get up, constantly in the night. And there were like these patterns of like sadness, depression, random just thoughts, intrusive thoughts that don't belong, and what I had found out is this person was probably being psychically attacked or leeched off in some way. Because listen, guys, this is really what happens at times. What happens is these certain beings, they can access you when you sleep, when you're interfacing with your subconscious mind. Correct? So before sleep, if you have a little bit of salt with you, just put it in the four corners of your bed, right? And have this protective symbol. My favorite one to work with, which I have a tattoo right here as well, is the Eye of Horus, okay? The Eye of Haru is a very, very powerful protective symbol that will get you to traverse that space with protection and grace, okay? And whenever you see bees as well, they are also a sign from the higher dimensions. Okay? Bees are basically the tears of Ra. So you could think of them as droplets of the sun. Now, when we think about, and we were talking deep on these subjects last night in the Nexus meeting. Nexus meetings are usually held as Q&As, where I take on the consciousness of all of the Primal Sutra spirit guides that I work with personally, but then also the adepts get to interface with them as well, as they get to ask questions to these specific beings. And, I tap into an altered state of consciousness to tap into this. And it's a practice that I've been doing for many years, okay? So I'm not a novice in this field. A lot of people may see this as like, why would you put your power away, or why would you take your power away to worship any of these deities? Listen, the only thing I worship is flow. Right? Flow state. And I worship it through the divine. That is the way that I love God, is to appreciate his creations, right? Like to understand that there is a beauty and a disaster at the same time happening. but all is taken care of, that feeling, you can't buy that feeling. You know, you can't empty your bank account for that feeling. You got to earn it through merit, through spiritual momentum, through doing your tasks to silence your own inner chatter, right? So if we think of discipline like we're trying to bulldoze a rock up the mountain, we're just going force pressure against more pressure. We didn't even know that we could talk to somebody else who has a helicopter crane thing that could lift that rock for us. We took the harder route, let's just say, okay? We created our own labyrinth for us to walk through in order to tell us that this was good enough, this was okay, and you did well here, you accomplished a lot there. Of course, it's imposed by others around us, because as a child, what do? You just kind of go along with whatever somebody says, right? I mean, that's your initial understanding because you're looking for guidance. So a lot of humanity is kind of at an infantile stage of development if you look at it. Now, I don't say that like a Sigma in a clock tower somewhere. I truly do care about interactivity, right? I care about receptivity and being able to understand another's perspective, of course. But if that's taking away from my mission in my own life in some way, that's probably not so crucial for me to involve myself with my time in terms of that. Like, honestly, laughter, joy, these things are a part of my journey. I welcome them. You know, they're not healthy distractions. I see them as a part of the discipline, actually. I see the distraction as a part of the discipline, therefore I don't get so caught up when my mind goes there. I kind of haze it out a little bit and get back to working, get back to movement, momentum again. You've been so sedentary in one place, doing the same thing. You just need to break that pattern. You need to do something different that allows you to chime in and tap in to that particular frequency. And once you're in this little state of playfulness, it's so easy for you to tap into a grace with it, right? It doesn't become about a force anymore. Though having fortitude, having mental strength is as equally as important, I would say, if not more. It's important for us to understand ourselves and refine our characters to the best of our own narrative. So in your own journey, if you ever feel like you're being disciplined incorrectly, I want you to see if you can remain as that container of love, even when there is danger, there's a threat, there's someone else. Can you maintain your composure, the Zen-like composure, to understand that this is all an illusion anyway? Can you zoom out a little bit? Or are you completely involved and viscerally connected to your physical body so much that you can't even do that, right? I'm not saying to dissociate and go delulu on yourself. I'm saying to zoom out of the thinking mind. Watch your thoughts. Who's the one watching those thoughts? Ooh, right? That's the ultimate question. It makes us pause everything. Whenever there's a question mark, I always say this to the adepts, they know this analogy. Whenever I see a question mark, I do not see just a question mark. That little dot boop, at the bottom of the question mark is an eye through which I move forward. Others, they see a question mark and they think, oh, is this a dead end? Oh, do we stop here? In conclusion, hey, it's always to be continued. Even when this vessel dies, this body dies, the teachings of Uncle Makara will still continue. It reminds me of the story of the Buddha. He was asked on his deathbed, But Siddhartha, okay, that was his real name, by the way, Siddhartha. But Sid, right? Who will be your successor? The Buddha just simply replied, be a lamp unto yourself. Okay? He gave people the elixir, the power back into their own hands again. He said, you can do it too. Be a guiding light. Be a lamp unto yourself. You are that shining radiance. This is why the sun keeps coming up, man, as a symbolism, especially in regards to the ideas of confluence and hierarchies we were talking about last night that one of our adepts, Mathis, brought up. And it's this very interesting concept of we are this confluence, so we are like the sun, therefore we are shining in all directions at the same time. It's not like I have to balance this with this, I have to do this to compromise this other thing, I can't get this in time for this thing to... This is all egoic games in your mind. You can just zoom out, watch the experience happen, and the discipline will unfold because the bliss is attached to you actually taking the right aligned actions. So the reason why your discipline isn't working is because you're going to force yourself to take unaligned actions. And the way that you tap into your discipline is you start taking aligned actions and aligned choices. How do you know an action is aligned for you? It sits right. This is how I would speak to you humanoid Terran beings, okay? The very, very muggles, you know, like the super muggles, like the, you know, like the NPC times infinity, you know what I mean? Like the soulless kind of like shriveled up consciousness, okay? The amoeba stage of development of spiritual growth, right? I'm just playing around, by the way, you guys, read the disclaimer, okay? So it just sits right, okay? It feels good and it sits right. It's the right vibration, man, okay? If you want to take it there, you can take it there. We can make this work all week, baby. You can show up in different parts of the time zone and timeline, but I will be able to stay in my time. It's like you can't have a normal conversation with people nowadays, rather than them over-intellectualizing to sound like they're better than you, right? It's like such a pretentious thing to do, especially in the spiritual communities. People do this, right? The big spiritual egos, like, what's going on there, bro? But I am a 10th disciple of this caste system, and then I am also the Sargadatta Maharaja's uncle's nephew's son. Okay, I guess. Thank you, right? Like, what am I supposed to say to that, right? It's like, you gotta connect to a soul-to-soul basis at times. He's building his own theme park in his spiritual world, right? Like it's just a theme park. And you're going, all right, I guess it's fun. Yeah, okay. I love theme parks, you know, just going around. So the best way to tackle the unknown is through discipline and repetition. If we keep going through this pattern of loving the struggle, right? Because the word passion comes from pasio. It means suffering, patir, right? To suffer. So if you were just kinda, you know, sort of doing your passion, it's not a passion. This is something that you obsess over in your mind. This is something that you lose sleep over. This is something that, you know, you get so involved with that it merges with every part of your beingness. It becomes you. I have become the flow. I am not trying to be it. You guys see that? So this is the proper understanding of the embodiment of flow state, rather than noticing like, oh, this person has a doctorate, a master's, a PhD. Okay, I guess he knows what he's talking about, right? I'm going to trust him. Okay, that takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of work. And so therefore, okay. But what about the personality? What about the personal relationship, right? Do you vibe with that person's personality? Do you want to be in their presence? Do you melt in their presence? Do their vibes uplift you, bring you up, Now, some people, the way I did that, right? Some people would look at me and be like, that dude is goofy. Some other projection. Let me tell you this, I can shoulder rock and weave all day long, okay? It doesn't take away from my gratitude, which is an attunement device to get us back into patience, presence, connection again. The gratitude is the gift, the gratuité, the gratis, the gratis. Wait, doesn't gratis mean free? Woo! Gratitude is freedom. Let's go, okay? We're creating new codes every single day like this. So you got to probably, join the Telegram group, join the tribe, say hi to everybody. Let's get it. Everybody here is so on their own path, but we just weave together so nicely. So this entire primal operation that you guys are weaving with, it's an important collective, man. We believe truly in the expansion of human consciousness, and we want to merge the divine and the raw, the authentic spirituality, real stuff, no fluff. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, if you are interested, we do have an Instagram, Primal Sutra. Go check it out. There's some memes on there. If you like spiritual memes at all, you love this, okay? Go tap in. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. I hope you gave you a very, very important new perspective around discipline and how you can apply that readily in your day-to-day life. Let's get it. Upward spiral, gang. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you, and usa. Let's go. Boom!